Hey everyone, welcome to Pipes, Tobacco, and
guys.
Whiskey. So we are going to continue our series of our favorite
Holiday
holiday
drinks.
beverages and the smokes that go with them. And this week we are going to do one of the standard holiday drinks that almost everybody around the world uses, and it's a hot cocoa, right?
Yep.
But this one has a little twist. We can't do anything here at the Kuhn House normally. So we kind of tweak it a little bit and we are going to make a Mexican spiced hot chocolate. So to do this, we're going to have to take you into the kitchen and show you how to do this because there is a little bit of a cooking process that needs to be done with this. So why don't you all come with us into the kitchen? Okay, to start off with, guys, you're going to need some different types of milk. And so we're going to start off with 2 cups of whole milk. Don't use half and half. Don't use all that 2% or whatever. Whole milk is what you need. So we're going to use 2 cups of it. We're going to put it in a saucepan here. There's 1 cup. And there's 2 cups. And we're going to mix these together. Now you're going to need 1 cup, and I said don't use half and half, but you actually need 1 cup of half and half, okay? This is the same stuff you put in your coffee in the morning. So 1 cup of half and half. Then we're going to use a typical Mexican caramel milk, which is the dulce de leche. And you need 1/4 of a cup of this. So let's put 1/4 of a cup in this one. This stuff is pretty thick. It's almost like condensed milk or a caramel kind of consistency. It's pretty thick stuff. So I'm going to just kind of flatten it out here. Then I'm going to put all of that into my mixture. Okay? Make sure you get it all out because this is the goodness. This is the stuff that makes it tasty. Okay. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put it on low heat and we're going to let it simmer and we're going to whisk it all together while it's melting, okay? We want to make sure that all of that dulce de leche kind of melts down. And I'm not wanting to bring it to a boil. I just want it to simmer a little bit. So we're going to let it sit there and kind of heat up. And then I'll show you what we're going to do once it's all mixed together. As it's starting to melt, I'm going to go ahead and add 1 whole cinnamon stick in here. Okay? So let that do its thing. That's the spiced part of this chocolate beverage. So it's going to just kind of do its thing. Okay, so we bring this to a simmer, and it's just about at a simmer, just before it starts to bubble. And as we're watching it, we're mixing it through, making sure nothing sticks at the bottom. After it reaches a simmer, we're going to let it rest for about 10 minutes. We've got it at a simmer now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take it off the heat, and I'm going to cover it. And we're going to leave it there for about 10 minutes and let it rest. All right, we've let it sit for 10 minutes. Now we're going to go put it back on the heat and bring it back up to a simmer. Once it's back up to a simmer, we're going to start adding our chocolate. Now, if you'll notice, this is 5 ounces of 70% dark chocolate. It asked to chop it up real fine. I just used a grater and I grated it all up. So it's really, really fine right now. But that right there is 5 ounces. So we're going to start whisking that in as soon as it gets back up to simmer.
We're good.
All right, so we've got it up to simmer, and we are going to just add a little bit of chocolate, a little bit at a time, And we're going to whisk it in as we are adding it in. We want to make sure that it all melts evenly and that it's nice and smooth, no chunks in there. So we're going to keep doing that until we add all 5 ounces. So we've whisked in all of our chocolate. It's nice and melted. It's nice and kind of blended in there really well. Now we're going to take it off the heat. We're going to take out that cinnamon stick. I say cinnamon funny. I say cinnamon. That's how I always said it. So let's take out the cinnamon stick. Ow. Okay. And then we're going to add the final ingredients. Let me turn the stove off here. We're going to add the final ingredients. We're going to add 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla. Now, I went and got the Mexican vanilla. So, you know, you can use any kind of pure vanilla. But this one, since it's a Mexican drink, I'm going to add that. So we got 1 teaspoon of this. And that's going to blend in. And then I'm going to add 1/8 of a teaspoon. And how do you tell 1/8? Well, I got a 1/4 teaspoon here, and I'm just going to put half of it in, fill it up halfway. Okay, so there's 1/8, basically half of the 1/4, right? Put 1/8 of that salt in there. And then the main ingredient now is bourbon. And I just use Evan Williams Bottled in Bond. It's my standard bourbon that I have around here. It's not expensive. It's about $20 a bottle. And it's really a good bourbon. So I'm going to add 1/4 of a cup of this to the mixture. There we go. And basically you just kind of stir it around. And you have your hot chocolate. All right, so the batch that we just made will serve about 4 to 5 servings, you know, depending on the size of your mugs. And let's talk about the drink a little bit. You know, you've had a little bit now, and what do you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, this is standard hot cocoa mix for us. I mean, the thing I like the most about it is it's not overly sweet. It allows the alcohol to mix in there with it well. It's got the bitter, more dark chocolate flavors into it, which lead to a richer, kind of smokier mouthfeel. Not even smoky as much as just very covered. I also like that this hot chocolate, other than your instant hot chocolates or things like that you get, is creamier. It's a lot thicker and creamier.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Has a density to it. You know, some people don't like the cinnamon, so if you don't want the cinnamon in there, you can leave that out. You know, that's not important. It just makes it more of a spiced drink than a just a regular hot cocoa. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but there's not just that little bit of bourbon in there. Just kind of changes the profile just a little bit, enough to make it interesting.
Yeah, yeah. And because bourbon has always been a little bit on the sweet side, at least to me when it comes to alcohols. And it adds that, it complements that not too sweet, that kind of strong dark chocolate flavor, the bitterness that comes through with it. It pairs itself really well with the bourbon. I've oftentimes thought about using, you know, like, I know it's kind of a thing with us. We don't like flavored bourbons or flavored alcohols or things like that. But something like this would make me think, oh, maybe that vanilla bourbon, if it's not too vanilla-y. You know, they put a vanilla bean in the 50-gallon barrel while it sits. That'd be fine with me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's the perfect warm you up drink.
It really is. It coats your mouth and everything very well.
Yeah. So the big question is now, what are you going to pair with it? What's your smoke that would go with this? I mean, I know what I do, but I want to hear what you do with this.
So I have two ways of going about this with this particular drink. Kind of like what we did with the mulled wine. Do you accentuate the flavors in there, add to that richness, or do you cut it a little bit with some sweetness? And I've got to say, most of the time when I'm sitting and having one of these, it's late, it's cold, and I'm sitting in my living room. One of these sounds perfect tonight with my Christmas tree just built and everything, man.
This is the perfect deer lease too.
That's what I'm saying, around a campfire or something like
Oh
that.
my gosh.
What I'm thinking is I am going to err on the side of cutting that bitter, adding a little sweet. And my favorite's going to be McBaron Vanilla Roll Cake. Mm-hmm. That one's a really good one. It's got such a rich vanilla flavor to it, but it's not overbearing. There's not a lot of aromatic goopiness.
Well, and I can see how that complements the vanilla that's already in here.
Or another one that really comes to mind is there's two blends that I'm in love with that add this particular leaf to it. It's Appalachian Customs Radcliffe.
That's that deer tongue?
Deer tongue. And C&D, they have 3 different blends that have the deer tongue in it, but my favorite is Gentleman Caller.
You know, Anthony's really been doing some good stuff with his blends. He's working on a blend for us right now. And everything that he sent me is just really good.
He's doing good.
Yeah, the things that we've been tweaking on it are just minor changes, you know. But he got really, really close on the first try of what I wanted. All right, well, my smoke with this, because I like it out at the deer lease. I like it in the evening here. My go-to, my favorite, standard Seattle Pipe Club plum pudding. That's what I'm going to smoke with this one.
Capitalize on that richness.
Yeah, just all the creaminess of this and the creaminess of the Latakia. You know, that to me, that just all blends really, really well. And it makes for a perfect evening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just really enjoy that combination.
Yeah. Yeah, this is one of those drinks that I'm enjoying. I think I enjoy more when it is a little brisk. And not like saying, oh, I drink this in the summer. I don't.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, to me, it is a drink best enjoyed in the elements. I feel better sitting outside around a campfire drinking this than I would inside my house or my windows open in my house. You know.
Well, this is another Kuhn staple. So if you guys, we've got the all the ingredients and everything. We'll post a picture of that at the end of it. And the batch that I just made was actually half recipe. The one I'll post with the pictures is the full recipe, and you could probably make about 10 servings with that.
Yeah, because this was just one serving. We still had half the pot left.
No, after Mom
just
got
ours,
some. Yeah, after Mom got some, we just had maybe one more glass that we could have poured. But anyway, well, we hope you enjoyed this, guys. If you want to see more of this, let us know. We've got another one coming next week. One of Nathan's favorites for next week. And we'll share that with you at that time. But until then, don't forget.
Make all your piping moments count.
We'll see you next time. Have a great week. Happy holidays.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.